Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. A plea deal changed her felony abuse charge to a misdemeanor. But tonight, state investigators say that abuse case was just one of many problems at a Knox County woman's daycare.
Tracy Ford entered an Alford plea to third-degree criminal abuse last week. She was arrested after police say she sat on a 2-year-old boy. Police and the child's family were upset about the plea deal, and we've learned state investigators were looking into the daycare before the abuse case. Jordan Valines is at the live desk with our top story at 6. Jordan?
Amber, that's right. I've spent the day digging through the inspection reports on the state's investigation into the Rainbows and Lollipops Learning Academy. The report from April 10th has many disturbing details as it offers a closer look into the array of alleged abuse. The April 10th inspection report shows the daycare director Tracy Ford failed to comply with 10 of the state's regulatory requirements for supervision, health, safety, and discipline, just to name a few. Staff members told inspectors with the Division of Regulated Child Care that Tracy Ford used to punish the children for not cleaning up their toys by withholding their food. But according to the report, children related to Tracy Ford were allowed to eat despite not cleaning up their toys. Staff members even said they had to, quote, hunt for something most of the time to feed the children. And that children only received half a tablespoon of food items during meals, end quote. Last week, Ford entered an Alford plea to third-degree criminal abuse for allegedly sitting on a 2-year-old boy while he was sleeping. She had been charged with felony abuse, and the toddler's family calls the sentence a slap on the wrist.
That's not right. I mean, you can abuse a dog and go to jail for 6 years.
The latest report shows that on April 6th, the same 2-year-old was found with a soiled diaper and clothing. It says a staff member had to scrub dried feces off his back and that some of his skin was raw and bleeding as a result of being stuck to his diaper. Now, state police plan to take these additional findings to the grand jury, but the case never made it there. Ford received probation and a $130 fine for the amended charge of third-degree criminal abuse. At the live desk, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
Jordan, thank you. Today we left 2 messages with the Knox County attorney asking why the case was resolved so quickly. Our calls have not been returned. The son of presidential candidate and Kentucky Senator Rand Paul has pled guilty to a DUI charge. Lexington police cited 22-year-old William Paul last month after they say his SUV hit a parked car on Woodland Avenue. After his guilty plea, the judge suspended Paul's license for 45 days, and he'll have to take alcohol education classes before he gets his license back. The judge also ordered Paul to pay more than $700 in fines and court fees.
The primary is 1 week from today, and tonight the newly released Bluegrass Poll gives us a look at the race for Kentucky governor. It appears the Republican primary could go right down to the wire. Political editor Bill Bryant has the poll results.
Good evening. Headlining the WKYT Herald Leader Bluegrass Poll is the very closely watched race for the GOP nomination for governor. Fireworks erupted and that race turned divisive last week over abuse allegations involving Agriculture Commissioner James Comer and whether former Louisville Councilman Hal Heiner's campaign was involved in them becoming public. Now voters have less than a week to decide how they're going to vote. The Bluegrass Poll finds no clear favorite among the likely Republican voters. Louisville businessman Matt Bevin, Comer, and Heiner are all within 2 points of each other. Former Supreme Court Justice Will T. Scott trails way behind. The 14% who remain undecided could ultimately decide the race. On the Democratic side, likely voters prefer Jack Conway by a 5-to-1 margin. The majority told us he strikes the right balance between conservative and liberal policies and the coal industry versus environmentalists. On his decision to not appeal a federal judge's decision to strike down Kentucky's same-sex marriage ban, 44% of likely Democratic voters said that was the right decision. 41% said it was wrong. So which of the 3 front-runners stands the best chance in a head-to-head matchup with Conway? The Bluegrass Poll found James Comer would come closest, but he trails by 6 percentage points to the Attorney General. It's 45 to 39%. Conway's lead extends to 11 points in a matchup with Matt Bevin. Conway 48% 28%, Bevan 37%. His lead over Hal Heiner was greatest, Conway at 48%, Heiner at 36%. Survey USA talked to more than 2,400 people across Kentucky between May 5th and 10th for the Bluegrass Poll. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
And for more on the Bluegrass Poll, just go to WKYT.com.
Tonight, 2 men have been arrested for the murders of a Perry County woman and her adult daughter. Police charged 32-year-old Matthew Minks with murder and 30-year-old Ronnie Everidge with complicity to commit murder. In 2013, investigators say the victims, Sandra and Susie Melton, were shot and their home set on fire. From jail today, Everidge said he wants to come clean and he has a message for the Melton family.
I just want them to know I apologize. I'm glad that they gave some closure. And, you know, I pray to God that I get the death penalty for this because I feel that's what I deserve. I don't deserve life in prison. I deserve the death penalty because, you know.
Police say they originally arrested Everidge for a robbery yesterday, but while talking to him, they say he admitted his roles and Mink's roles in those murders. The National Weather Service says straight-line winds caused damage during a storm in Scott County yesterday. The winds brought down trees, power lines, and even damaged a barn in Stamping Ground. The National Weather Service meteorologists surveyed the damage this morning. They estimate the winds were between 60 and 65 miles per hour.
To look at the type of tree that fell, the state of the tree. So in this case, this tree was actually rotted. And so, you know, it's a big tree, but when it's rotted, it can't stand as much wind. So that's how we came to the conclusion of 60 to 65 mile per hour winds.
No injuries were reported because of the storm in Scott County.
Sometimes investigations come out of previous stories. You may remember the story we brought you late last year about a Casey County woman's death that was ruled a suicide. The family claimed her death was not properly investigated, and they found out it had been years since the coroner had state-required training. So we wanted to know how many other Kentucky coroners are unqualified to do their jobs. WKYT investigative reporter Miranda Combs has the answer.
They are here at this Louisville hotel for training. We came to get answers.
What is your reaction to seeing that some of these coroners are very out of date with their training?
Well, it's alarming.
Our Department of Criminal Justice records show you haven't had training since 2005. Is that right? You don't remember going to it?
I'm talking to Wolfe County Coroner Frank Porter. He's on the other side of the wall. He is one of 8 coroners in the state of Kentucky that, according to records we obtained from the Department of Criminal Justice Training, have expired coroner certifications. Porter has gone the longest without getting his state certification.
I don't have anything to say, but my understanding was as long as I was an elected official in the coroner, I didn't have to say.
You're one of a dozen or so or less coroners that have not done their training out of how many counties? Do you think you're deceiving your people that voted for you by not getting your training? No comment?
No comment.
Okay. All right. Thanks for your time.
You need to get your training.
We caught up with the incoming president of the Kentucky Coroners Association along with the Henry County coroner during the association's annual conference.
I'm dumbfounded.
We were the first to inform them that some of their own weren't certified to do their jobs.
Do you take this personally?
Absolutely, I do. Yes, I do. When I've had over 1,000 hours of death investigating training, yes, I do.
If they don't have their training, they should not be doing post-mortem examinations.
No.
State law says, in part, post-mortem examinations must be done by a certified coroner. A certified coroner is a coroner who has successfully completed both the basic 40-hour training course for new coroners and the 16-hour in-service course required every year after by KRS 72.415.
He should know before he ever files his papers to run for office. This is what I'm going to make, and this is what I'm going to have to do.
You came up on the list as not having your certification since 2012.
Yeah, I do the...
Whitley County Coroner Andy Crowley invited us in without our cameras. After about an hour, he decided to talk.
What do you think when you see that?
Well, I mean, it surprises me.
But he says there's several reasons a coroner might not be up to date with the Department of Justice training. For instance, he says he goes to training a lot, but not the ones that count as certification for the state. That was echoed for several other coroners on our list. He also says there's not enough class variety and training is too far.
A lot of the training is, for example, Whitley County area, Lake Barkley. I'm not even sure how long of a drive that is, or, Moorhead or whatever it may be.
We try to offer the training strategically around the state to where it isn't a hardship on the coroner to get there.
Here's a map of training locations for 2014. There were 11 throughout the year. Here's the locations for 2015, with 12 trainings offered this year.
They're called out to make a death investigation, and they're not certified to make that death investigation, then that opens an entire gambit of things that can happen that are not good. None of them are good.
And I caught up with the judge executive in Wolfe County. He was not aware that his coroner is out of date with state training. He says he realizes that if the coroner in his county were to be sued, it would fall back on his fiscal court. He told me he'd fix the problem. There's no cost for coroner training, and the coroner does pay to get there and possibly spend the night.
So some of the coroners on the list do have or do go to some kind of training.
Right, just not that required 16-hour training. Andy Crowley, for instance, has been doing extensive training in and out of state, even been instructors in some of the trainings, but it just doesn't count as that 16-hour certification.
Wow, you put a lot of work into this, Miranda, and you can see a complete list of unqualified coroners on our website. Just go to WKYT.com. Thank you.
Well, some may have thought it was a prank, but leaders of a Lexington high school are not amused. They had a mess to clean up.
School leaders say 3 students broke into Dunbar High School sometime Saturday night and vandalized the building. They say the students spray painted floors, walls, bleachers, and security cameras. School leaders say the students were wearing masks, but they're still trying to identify them. They say the students will be disciplined if caught.
Some changes have been made at the Madison County Detention Center after an inmate escaped. Yesterday, investigators say a theft suspect, Alexandria Smith, walked out of the jail. They say she was using a phone in the jail's breathalyzer room, but a jail employee left and the door didn't close all the way. Investigators say Smith then walked out of the room and out an open garage door. She was caught last night in Richmond. The Madison County jailer tells us the phone that Smith was using has now been moved to a more secure location in the jail.